Hello, my dear students. Welcome to Sankalp Learning Classes. Today we are learning the important question answer from the acids, bases, and salts. First, we are going to discuss the MCQ questions. After that, 1 mark questions and 2 mark questions. In this video, you are going to solve the MCQs 1 mark questions as well as 2 mark questions. Okay. Yes, let us start with the first question. The pH value of neutral solution increases. Option A, basic property decreases and number of OH minus ions increases. The acidic property increases and number of H plus ions decreases. C, basic property increases and number of OH minus ions increases. Option D, acidic property decreases and number of H plus ions increases. As the pH value of neutral solution increases. Here, option A, pH value of neutral solution. The pH value of neutral solution, that is 7. So if the pH value increases means it may be 8, 9, 10 pH, right? So the solutions which have the pH more than 7, it is called as a basic solution. So in the basics, yes, see the option basic property decreases. No, basic property increases. So option A is the wrong one. Second one, acidic property increases. No, acidic property is not increasing. Basic property is increasing, right? Yes. So option C, that is basic property is increasing here, and OH minus ions increases. Yes, OH minus ions, they are responsible for the basic property, and when the OH minus ions increases, the basic property also increases. We can say that option C is the correct answer. And check the D option, acidic property decreases. Yes, acidic property decreases when the pH increases from neutral solution, that is 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. The H plus ions increases. No, acidic property decreases means H plus ions also decreases. So option D is also wrong one. The correct answer is option C is the correct answer. Second question. The chemical equation that represents the neutralization reaction among the following is. So when the strong acid and strong bases react each other and forms the, when the acid reacts with the base, that forms the salt, that is the commonly called as a neutralization reaction. Here, barium chloride and the sulfuric acid, it is not a neutralization reaction. It should be in between the strong acid and the weak strong base. Here, manganese oxide and the hydrochloric acid, so it is also not a neutralization reaction. Here you can see option C, sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. Sodium hydroxide is the strong base and sulfuric H2SO4, that is the strong acid, which forms the sodium sulfate and the water, which forms the salt and water. So that reaction is called as a neutralization reaction. So the reaction when the strong acid and the strong base react each other and forms the salt and water, that is the neutralization reaction. But here salt and water is not formed. In the remaining options, you can see the formation of the salt and water. So option C, you can say that is the correct answer. 2NaOH plus H2SO4, Na2SO4 plus 2H2, that is the correct answer. Next question. Which one of the following salts does not contain water of crystallization? Option A, bleaching powder. Option B, baking soda. Option C, washing soda. Option D, gypsum. Yes, what is the answer for this question? Here, the water of crystal does not contain. Here, so you can say that gypsum that contains the water of crystallization, and washing soda also contain the water of crystallization. But baking soda and bleaching powder, that does not contain the water of crystallization. So here what we can say, baking soda that does not contain the water of crystallization. What is formed when the zinc reacts with the sodium hydroxide? Yes, here zinc, that is Zn, zinc reacts with the sodium hydroxide, that is the NaOH. NaOH. So that forms the, what is the reaction is formed here? Sodium zincate and the hydrogen gas is released. Yes, this is the reaction where the, so this is the metal. So this is the base. When the metal reacts with the acid, it forms the salt and hydrogen gas is released. So here also, when the metal reacts with the base, it also forms the salt plus hydrogen gas is released. Okay. Now which salt is formed? Zinc hydroxide and sodium is formed. No, here zinc hydroxide is not formed. Sodium zincate and the hydrogen gas. Sodium zinc oxide and the hydrogen gas. Sodium zincate and the water. So here in this reaction, sodium zincate and the hydrogen gas is produced. Option B, sodium zincate and the hydrogen gas which is produced in this reaction. Next question. Tomato is a natural source of which acid? Tomato is a natural source of which acid? Acetic acid, citric acid, tartaric acid, oxalic acid. Here, tomato is the natural source of acetic acid which is present in the vinegar, citric acid present in the citric fruits, and tartaric acid present in the tamarind, and the oxalic acid, so that is present in the oxalic acid which is present in the tomato. Tomato contains the oxalic acid. Okay, option D is the correct answer. Next question. Brine is an aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide, aqueous solution of sodium carbonate, aqueous solution of sodium chloride, aqueous solution of sodium bicarbonate. Here, brine is an so that is the aqueous solution of the sodium chloride, NaCl. Aqueous solution of sodium chloride, that is called as a brine solution. Okay. So here option C is the correct answer. Next question. Na2CO3 10H2O is washing soda, baking soda, bleaching powder, tartaric acid. Here baking soda, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaHCO3, and CaOCl2, that is the bleaching powder, and tartaric acid that is present in the tamarind, and Na2CO3 10H2O is the, that is washing soda. Option A, that is the washing soda. Next question. Sodium carbonate is a basic salt because it is a salt of a strong acid and the strong base, a weak acid and the weak base, strong acid and the weak base, weak acid and the strong base. Yes, sodium carbonate is a basic salt. So here neutral salt is formed. Neutral salt is formed by the action of strong acid and the strong base, right? So it forms the neutral salt. But sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, that is the basic salt because it is a salt of a, so which one is the correct option here? That is weak acid and the strong base. Sodium carbonate is a basic salt because weak acid and the strong base. That is option D. Weak acid and a strong base. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements is correct about aqueous solution of acid and base? Here, aqueous solution of acids and base. Higher the pH, stronger the acid. Higher the pH, weaker the acid. Lower the pH, stronger the base. Lower the pH, weaker the base. Here, higher the pH. So just imagine the pH number is 1 to 14. 7 is the neutral. Okay. So higher the pH, stronger the acid? No. When the pH is near to 1, then it is a strong acid. So it is not correct. Higher the pH, weaker the acid. Here, higher the pH, weaker the acid. Yes, when the pH is more than 7, then that is the weak acid, or when the pH is near 6, so that is the weak acid. So statement 2 is correct. Lower the pH, stronger the base. No, when the pH is more, it is near to 14, then it is the strong base. Lower the pH, weaker the base. When the pH is low, then weaker the base. So that is the correct option. So you can say that here option 2 and 4, option D is the correct answer. Option 2 and 4 is the correct answer. Nettle sting is a natural source of which acid? Methanoic acid, lactic acid, citric acid, tartaric acid. Here, tartaric acid that is present in the tamarind. Then citric acid which is present in the citric fruits like lemon. Lactic acid which is present in the curd. Then methanoic acid that is present in the nettle sting. Okay, option A is the correct answer. That is the methanoic acid. Next question. A solution turns red litmus blue. Its pH is likely to be when the red litmus turn to blue. Okay. So pH is 1, 4 and 5 here. Option D, that is 10, that is the base. So the bases which change the color red litmus paper, color of the red litmus paper into blue. So option D is the correct answer. Next question. 10 ml of solution of sodium hydroxide is found to be completely neutralized by 8 ml of given solution of HCl. If we take 20 ml of the same solution of NaOH, the amount of HCl solution required to neutralize it will be option A 4 ml, option B 8 ml, option C 12 ml, and option D, that is 16 ml. Here just read the question properly. 10 ml of the solution of NaOH, 10 ml of the solution of NaOH, so that is completely neutralized by 8 ml of HCl. Here, if we take the 20 ml of same NaOH, here 20 ml is taken sodium hydroxide. How much HCl is required to neutralize this solution? That is the 16 ml of HCl. Same HCl is required. So here option D is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following types of medicine is used for treating the indigestion? Option A, antibiotic, analgesic, antacid, and antiseptic. Here, antibiotic, that is used to cure the disease caused by the bacteria, and antiseptic, that is prevent the growth of the microorganisms, and antacid is the medicine. Option C, the antacid is the medicine used for the treating indigestion. Option C is the correct answer. Okay. Acid found in tamarind is option A, tartaric acid, option B, citric acid, option D, oxalic acid, option D, acetic acid. Here, acetic acid, that is present in the vinegar, oxalic acid, that is present in the tomato, and citric acid, which is present in the lemon and the citric fruits like orange, lemon, and tartaric acid, which is found in the tamarind. That is the option A is the correct answer. Next question. Ferrous sulfate crystals lose green color when heated because this compound decomposes into simpler products, loses water molecules, releases sulfur dioxide, produces brown fumes. Here, ferrous sulfate, that is FeSO4 dot I don't know, 5H2, I think. I don't know exactly. Okay. So here water of crystallization is present. Ferrous sulfate crystals lose green color. Why they lose the green color? Because when it is heated, this water of crystallization, that is removed. So because of absence of water, so they lost the water when they are heated. So when the water molecules are removed, so they lost the green color of the ferrous sulfate solution. So option B is the correct answer. Yes. Okay, dear students, now we are discussing the 1 mark questions. Okay. Yes, till now we have discussed the MCQ questions. Next, we are discussing the 1 mark questions, which is asked in the different question paper. Okay. Name the ions responsible for the acidic and basic nature of the substances. Name the ions which are responsible for the acidic and the basic nature of the substances. Here, the ions responsible for the acidic character, that is the H plus ions, and the basic nature of the substance, that is because of the OH minus ions. So the ions which are responsible for this, that is OH minus ions. Okay. H plus ions and the OH minus ions. Why do acids not show acidic behavior in the absence of water? Why do acids do not show the acidic behavior? Please understand the question properly. For example, HCl is a gas. When it is tested with a litmus paper, when it is in a gaseous state, when it is tested with the litmus paper, which is not able to change the litmus paper color, because which is not in acidic, which is not showing the acidic behavior. But when the HCl, hydrochloric acid, that is in the aqueous form, when it is dissolved in the water, means that is the aqueous form, so it is able to change the color of the litmus paper. So why it is not showing the acidic behavior when it is present in the form of gas, or which is not in water, but why it is showing the acidic character now? Because in the absence of oxygen, so in the absence of oxygen, so this will not, sorry, in the absence of water, sorry, in the absence of water, sorry, in the absence of H2O, it is not able to form the H plus ions. So these H plus ions are responsible for the acidic character. So these ions are not formed. So when they are in the different state, when they are not in the water. So in the presence of water, they forms the H plus ions. So these are responsible for the acidic character. So that is the reason. Please note down the question. Next question. Plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture-proof container. Explain why. What is the reason for plaster of Paris? So should be stored in a moisture-proof container. Yes, why it is stored in a moisture-proof container? Because plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture-proof container, because when it absorbs the moisture from the solids and forms the solids, this is called as a gypsum. So if this plaster of Paris, that is the white powder plaster of Paris, so when it absorbs the moisture from the atmosphere, it will convert into hard solid like structure gypsum. So it will convert into gypsum. So it should be stored under the, it should be stored in a moisture proof container. Okay, so that is the correct answer. Next question. What is the common name of CaOCl2? What is the common name of CaOCl2? That is calcium oxychloride, also called as bleaching powder. What is the common name of calcium oxychloride? That is the bleaching powder. Yes. Next question. 1 m acetic acid mixed with the 1 m sodium hydroxide solution. Here you have to determine the nature of the salt. Nature of the salt forms here with the suitable reason. So this is the 1 mark question. So acetic acid, that is CH3COOH. CH3COOH. When it reacts with the sodium hydroxide solution, that is NaOH, which forms the salt that is called as sodium acetate. CH3COONA plus water is formed. Okay. Here, this acetic acid, that is the weak acid. Okay. So, acetic acid is the weak acid. Sodium hydroxide, you know that is the strong base. Sodium hydroxide is the strong base. And sodium acetate, that is the salt and the water, right? So what type of salt? What is the nature of the salt? That is the basic salt. Why it is basic salt? When the weak acid reacts with the strong base, it forms the salt that is in the nature of basic nature. The salt that is basic in nature. So that is the reason. Okay. Write any two uses of the washing soda. Write any two uses of washing soda. This is also 1 mark question. Washing soda, that is used to the removal of the hardness of the water. Hardness of water is removed by the washing soda. Here. So you can write any two uses of the washing soda. Okay. So that is for the 1 mark. Yes. So these are the 1 mark questions. So very important question asked in a different question paper. Next we are going to solve the 2 mark questions. Okay. So very important 2 mark questions. Compounds such as alcohols and glucose also contain the hydrogen but are not categorized as acid. Describes and activity prove it. So only this much can be asked for the 2 marks. Compounds such as alcohols and glucose also contain the hydrogen but they are not categorized as acids. Okay. So here glucose C6H12O6 and alcohol, any alcohol, methyl alcohol or so any alcohol. So they contain the H ions, right? Hydrogen ions are there, but they are not categorized as acids because so when they are dissolved in water, when they are in aqueous form, they are not able to form, H plus ions, which is responsible for the acidic nature. Okay, so that is the reason. So here again for 3 mark or 4 mark questions. So there is a activity describes the activity question is there. So for this activity you have to take the alcohols, glucose in a beaker, alcohols or glucose in a beaker. Then take a cork and fit 2 nails. So here you have to fit the 2 iron nails. Okay. Then you should end up with the cork. Then connect the 2 nails to the 2 terminals of the battery. So you should connect it to the battery and you should join the, you should connect the bulb also. So when you switch on the current, there is no, bulb is not able to produce the light because here, so you have to use the alcohol or glucose. Here H plus ions are not formed. So these ions are able to carry the current, but here ions are not there, H plus ions, so they are not able to carry the current. If you take the HCl or H2SO4, the bulb will glow because of the H plus ions, they carry the current. So you can say that alcohol and glucose, so that is why they are not acids. So that is the reason. Next question. Why does distilled water not conduct electricity whereas rainwater does? Why does distilled water do not conduct the electricity? What is the reason behind this? Here, distilled water is pure form of water. This do not contain ions. No electricity is flows in the distilled water, but rainwater contains the dissolved acids and salt. Hence, the rainwater is conductor of electricity. Okay. So, the distilled water is pure form of the water which do not contain any ions. So because of this reason, the distilled water is not able to conduct the electricity. That is the reason. Next question. Equal lengths of magnesium ribbon are taken in the test tubes A and B. Hydrochloric acid is added in a test tube A while the acetic acid is added to the test tube B. Amount which is the same amount and the same concentration. The reaction taken place in both the test tube are same, or in which test tube will be fizzing occurs more vigorously and why? Here, magnesium ribbon, magnesium when it reacts with the HCl, which forms the magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas will be released, and the magnesium reacts with the acetic acid CH3COOH. Okay, so CH3COOH. So here, this is the weak acid. Acetic acid is the weak acid and hydrochloric acid is the strong acid. So here, in which tube fizzing occurs more vigorously and why? So in the test tube A, fizzing occurs vigorously and because which is the strong acid. Yes, test tube A containing the hydrochloric acid. This is because hydrochloric acid is a stronger acid than the acetic acid. The reaction between magnesium ribbon and the HCl is faster than between the magnesium and the acetic acid. So that is the reason. Fresh milk has pH 6. How do you think the pH will change as it turns into curd? Explain your answer. So the fresh milk has the pH 6, that is slightly acidic. So that is the acidic in nature. So the pH of which contains the lactose sugar, okay? The milk that contains the, sorry, lactose sugar, and which is slightly acidic, which is not more acidic. So this the lactose that will convert into lactic acid in the presence of bacteria. So that lactic acid, so that make the milk into curd. The pH changes slightly in that process. Yes, the pH of milk is 6. As it changes into curd, the pH will be reduced during the curd formation. The lactose present in the uh, milk that gets converted into lactic acid. As I told, lactose that is present in the milk that converted into lactic acid. Therefore, the curd is acidic in nature, and the acids present, it decreases the pH. The pH will be decreased then. Yes, this is the answer. Next question. A milkman adds a small amount of baking soda to a fresh milk. Why does he shift the pH of the fresh milk from 6 to slightly alkaline? Why does this milk take a long time to set as a curd? Here, a milkman adds the very small amount of baking soda to the milk. So you know that the pH of milk that is slightly acidic, that is around 6. So when he add the baking soda, so it will remain in the basic, means which is not able to convert into acid, means which is not able to convert into curd. Okay. So why does this milk take a long time to set as a curd? So that is the question. Here, milkman shift the pH of the fresh milk from 6 to slightly alkaline. In this condition, milk is not converted into curd as in alkaline state. So when the baking soda is added, so it will become alkaline. In the alkaline state, the milk will not convert into curd. So that benefits the milkman. So he add the baking soda. Then this milk is alkaline acids combining with the base and become the neutral. Hence it takes more time to convert into a curd. So it will take more time to convert into a curd. Okay, so that is the reason. Next question. Give two important uses of washing soda and baking soda. Yes, these uses of salts like washing soda, then baking soda, and bleaching powder. These all are very important for your board exam. Here, it is used in glass, soap, and paper manufacturing. So, washing soda that is used in a glass, soap, and the paper manufacturing, and also used to remove the permanent hardness of the water. The hardness of the water that is removed by the this baking soda. Next question. Sorry, washing soda. Here, baking soda. So, when it is mixed with the baking powder, so and the mild acid is tartaric acid is added. When it is heated, mixed in a water, it releases the carbon dioxide that makes the bread or cake fluffy. So it is used in the baking process and also used in a soda acid free extinguisher. Sorry, fire extinguisher. Soda acid fire extinguisher. Okay. So that is the answer. Next question. Why should we add acids to water, not water to acid? Give reason. So when you add the water to acids, the vigorous reaction takes place in between the water and acid. So it is highly exothermic, which is highly exothermic, which releases the more large amount of heat, and there may be a chance of blasting of that glass vessels, and it may cause the damage to the person as well as to the lab. So that is a so we are not going to add the as water to the acids, but you can add the acids to water. Okay, so you can add the acids drop by drop to water. So that is the reason. What will happen if a solution of sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated? Give equation of the reaction involved. When sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated, NaHCO3. When it is heated, it forms the Na2CO3. So that is the sodium carbonate, and water and carbon dioxide is also formed. Yes, this is the reaction. When the sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated, it forms the sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide. So this reaction will take place when the sodium hydrogen carbonate is. Then what will give the equations of reactions involved? So you have to write the reaction. So this is the reaction. Next question. Write an equation to show the reaction between plaster of Paris and water. So write an equation to show the reaction between the plaster of Paris and water. So you have to write the reaction. So that is calcium sulfate, hemihydrate. When it reacts with the water, that is 1.5 water, it forms the calcium sulfate plus water. Okay, calcium sulfate plus water is formed, and the product which is known as the gypsum. Okay, so gypsum is formed when the plaster of Paris react with the water. So that is the hard substance. So this is one of the important reaction for your exam. Next question. Yes, this question already we have solved. Why should we add the acids to water, not water to acids? Why does an aqueous solution of an acid conduct the electricity? Here, the aqueous solution of acid, aqueous solution of acids, they conduct the electricity because in the presence of water they form the H plus ions, and these ions, H plus ions, they are responsible for the conduct the electricity. Okay, so that is the reason. Next question. Yes, due to the presence of hydrogen, that is H plus ions, or hydronium H3O plus ions. An aqueous solution of an acid conducts the electricity. So that is the reason. Next question. How is the concentration of hydronium ions affected when the solution of acid is diluted? So how does it is affected? When the concentration of hydronium ions, H2O ions, so when it is diluted, solution of acid is diluted, the concentration will be decreased. So H3O plus ions, so for the given solution, that will be decreased. See here. Here in the beaker. So 50 H3O plus hydronium ions are there. So in the solution that is having the 50 ml. Okay. But when you add the 100 ml of water to this, so it will become 150 ml, but hydronium ions remain same. So the concentration of hydronium ions decreases. Yes, this is the answer. When a solution of acid is diluted, the concentration of hydronium ions per unit volume decreases, which also decreases the strength of the acid. The dilution increases the volume of the solution, but the concentration of ions remain the same. That is the answer. Okay. Next question. How is the concentration of hydroxide ions affected when the excess base is dissolved in a solution of hydroxide? So when the concentration of hydroxide ions, OH minus ions, when it is affected, when excess base is dissolved in a solution of sodium hydroxide, the concentration that increases when the OH minus ions increases. So the concentration also increases. Yes, here the concentration of hydroxide ions increases, means excess base is dissolved in a solution of sodium hydroxide. Being a strong base, hydroxide ions are formed on complete dissolution. Next question. What are antacids? Give one example. So this is also 2-mark question. Here, during the indigestion, the stomach produces too much acids and this causes the pain and irritation. To get rid of this pain, people use the bases called antacids. Okay, so that is the magnesium hydroxide, that is milk of magnesia, that is the and good example for the antacid. Okay, please note down this question. Next question. You have two solutions A and B. The pH of the solution A is 6 and the pH of the solution B is 8. Which solution has the more hydrogen ion concentration? Which of this, the acidic and one is basic? Here A, that is having the 6, and B, that is having the 8. Okay. So here A, the 7 pH means that is the neutral. Below 7, that is the acidic, and above 7, that is the basic solution. So here the acidic solutions, they have the more hydrogen ion concentration, that is the test tube A, that is having the more H plus ion concentration. Yes, this is the answer for the question. Under what soil condition do you think farmer would treat the soil of his fields with the quicklime or slaked lime or chalk? Okay, so that is the calcium oxide or the calcium hydroxide or the calcium carbonate. Here, if the soil has more acid, it is not suitable for agriculture. To increase the fertility, farmers should add burnt limestone or chalk powder. Okay, so that is the reason. Yes. So dear students, till now we have discussed the almost 2 mark questions and 1 mark questions as well as MCQs. I hope this video that will be helpful for you to prepare the board exams. Thank you.